Dylan Wang confronts Shen Yue's secret stalker after their private dinner interruption. In the glittering world of Chinese entertainment where every glance and whisper can spark 1,000 rumors, Dylan Wang and Shen Yue have always held a special place in fans' hearts. Their on-screen chemistry from Meteor Garden ignited a fire that never truly faded, even as years passed and their careers soared in different directions. But on a quiet evening that was meant to be private, everything changed in ways no one could have predicted. What started as an intimate dinner between two old friends turned into a heart-pounding confrontation that has left the entire industry buzzing. It was a warm summer night in Shanghai. The city lights danced across the Huangpu River as Dylan Wang pulled his sleek black car up to a discreet back entrance of an exclusive restaurant nestled in the French concession. He had arranged everything carefully. No paparazzi alerts, no fan sightings, just a simple meal to catch up with Shen Yue after months of overlapping schedules that kept them apart. They had not seen each other much lately outside of work commitments, and both were eager for a moment of normalcy amid their hectic lives. Point 14 Shen Yue arrived shortly after, slipping through the same hidden door with a soft smile that lit up the dimly lit hallway. She wore a simple yet elegant dress that flowed gracefully as she walked, her hair cascading over one shoulder in loose waves. Dylan greeted her with a warm hug, the kind that spoke of years of shared memories and unspoken understanding. Inside the private dining room, candlelight flickered across a table set for two. Soft music played in the background, and plates of their favorite dishes waited. For the first hour, laughter filled the air as they reminisced about old filming days, the pranks on set, and the pressure of staying relevant in an industry that demands perfection. But peace never lasts long in their world. Halfway through the main course, a sudden commotion erupted from the front of the restaurant. Raised voices echoed down the corridor. At first they dismissed it as typical staff handling a difficult customer. Then the door to their private room burst open. A man in his mid-30s, disheveled with wild eyes and a phone clutched tightly in his hand, stormed inside. Security trailed behind him, but not quickly enough. "You think you can hide from me, Shen Yue," he shouted, his voice trembling with a mix of obsession and anger. "I have followed your every move. I know about the secret messages, the late-night calls. You belong to your fans, not to him." The room fell silent except for the clatter of a fork hitting the floor. Shen Yue froze, her face paling as recognition dawned. This was no random intruder. For months, she had received anonymous gifts at her door, cryptic notes slipped into her scripts on set, and relentless online messages that grew increasingly possessive. Her team had dismissed them as harmless at first, but this was the first time the stalker had appeared in person. Dylan Wang rose slowly from his chair, his tall frame casting a long shadow. His expression shifted from surprise to steely determination in an instant. The stalker lunged forward, knocking over a glass of wine that spilled like blood across the white tablecloth. He thrust his phone toward Shen Yue, showing hundreds of photos he had taken of her over the past year, some from angles that suggested he had been inside her building. Dylan's blood boiled. He stepped between the man and Shen Yue, his voice low but commanding. "You have made a big mistake coming here tonight." What followed was a scene straight out of an action thriller, yet it unfolded with raw, unscripted intensity. Dylan, known for his poised demeanor on red carpets, moved with surprising agility. He grabbed the stalker's arm as the man tried to reach past him, twisting it just enough to disarm the immediate threat without causing serious injury. The stalker struggled, screaming accusations that echoed off the walls. "You are not good enough for her. She needs someone who truly sees her, someone like me who has been there through everything." Security finally rushed in, but Dylan held his ground for those critical seconds. He pinned the man against the wall with controlled strength, his eyes locked on the intruder's face. "Listen to me carefully. Shen Yue is not an object for your fantasies. She is a person with dreams and a life she controls. If you ever come near her again, you will answer to more than just me." His words carried the weight of genuine protection, not the rehearsed lines of a drama hero. Shen Yue watched in stunned silence, her hand pressed to her mouth. Tears welled in her eyes, not from fear alone, but from the overwhelming realization that someone she trusted deeply had stepped up without hesitation. The stalker spat venomous words, claiming he had hacked into her schedules and knew about their dinner because he had been monitoring her driver. He revealed details that sent chills down her spine, like the exact route she had taken that evening and the song playing in her car. As police arrived, drawn by the restaurant's emergency call, the confrontation escalated into a mind-blowing revelation. The stalker was not some lone wolf, but part of a small online network obsessed with Shen Yue since her breakthrough role. He confessed under pressure that he had been feeding information to others, creating fake accounts to spread rumors designed to isolate her from friends and colleagues. One particularly shocking detail emerged when he mentioned a hidden camera he had attempted to install near her previous filming location. Dylan demanded answers, pressing for the names of others involved. His voice never wavered, even as flashes from security cameras captured every moment. The minutes stretched into what felt like hours. While waiting for authorities to fully secure the scene, Dylan turned to Shen Yue, pulling her gently aside. "Are you okay?" His concern was palpable, his hand resting lightly on her shoulder. She nodded, though her voice shook as she whispered, "I never thought it would come to this. Thank you for being here." In that private moment amid the chaos, their connection deepened. Years of on-screen romance blurred with real-life gratitude, creating an electric tension that onlookers later described as unforgettable. News of the incident spread like wildfire across social media. Within minutes, blurry videos from a bystander's phone outside the restaurant began circulating. Fans pieced together the story, hailing Dylan as a real-life hero while expressing outrage over the stalker's brazen actions. Hashtags like Protect Shen Yue and Dylan Wang the Guardian trended globally. But behind the public frenzy lay layers of intrigue that made the event even more captivating. Investigators later uncovered that the stalker had been tracking Shen Yue for over 18 months. He had posed as a delivery worker to gain access to her apartment complex, collected discarded notes from her trash to analyze her handwriting, and even infiltrated fan groups to gather insider information about her schedule. The mind-blowing part came when police found a journal in his possession detailing elaborate fantasies that involved inserting himself into her life, complete with fabricated stories of secret meetings. One entry described an imagined confrontation with Dylan himself, which eerily mirrored what had just happened. Dylan, typically private about his personal affairs, released a measured statement the next morning. "Shen Yue deserves peace and safety. No one should live in fear because of their fame." His words resonated deeply, humanizing him beyond the polished idol image. Shen Yue followed with her own message, expressing gratitude to Dylan and urging fans to respect boundaries. Their joint appearance at a charity event days later only fueled speculation about the true nature of their bond. Were they simply friends, or had this shared trauma brought them closer in ways the public could only guess? The dinner interruption forced both stars to confront vulnerabilities rarely shown in their glamorous lives. Dylan later confided in close circles about the surge of protectiveness he felt, a rush reminiscent of the intense scenes they once filmed together, but amplified by reality. Shen Yue described the fear that gripped her in those initial seconds, followed by profound relief when Dylan intervened. Their conversations in the days after delved into deeper topics, from the pressures of celebrity to the importance of mental health support for victims of harassment. Industry insiders revealed that this event highlighted growing concerns about stalker culture in entertainment. Several other actors came forward anonymously, sharing similar experiences that had been hushed up. Calls for stricter laws and better security protocols gained momentum, with Dylan and Shen Yue quietly supporting initiatives behind the scenes. One particularly interesting development involved a tech firm offering free digital security audits to high-profile talents, inspired directly by the details of this case. As the investigation unfolded, more astonishing facts emerged. The stalker had accomplices who monitored social media for any mention of Shen Yue and Dylan together, amplifying rumors to create distractions. They had even created deepfake videos suggesting romantic entanglements to sow discord among fans. The confrontation at the restaurant dismantled much of this network, leading to multiple arrests. Dylan and Shen Yue sat through lengthy police interviews, recounting events with clarity that impressed officers. Their composure under scrutiny added another layer of admiration from the public. Fans flooded online forums with theories and support messages. Some recreated the dinner scene in fan art, portraying it as a pivotal moment in a modern fairy tale. Others analyzed every public interaction between the pair since Meteor Garden, noting subtle signs of enduring affection. The incident transformed their public image from beloved co-stars to resilient figures who faced real danger together. In the weeks that followed, Dylan threw himself into his next project with renewed focus, but he made time to check on Shen Yue daily. Their private dinners resumed, now with enhanced security that allowed genuine moments of connection. One evening, as they walked along a quiet garden path, Shen Yue turned to him and said, "You did not just protect me that night. You reminded me why trust matters." Dylan smiled, his response simple yet profound. "We have always had each other's backs, on screen and off." This single interruption became a defining chapter in their stories. It showcased bravery, exposed hidden threats in the entertainment world, and strengthened a bond that transcended fame. As cameras continued to follow their careers, one thing remains clear. In a landscape of scripted perfection, real courage and loyalty shine brightest. The event also sparked broader conversations about mental health for celebrities. Shen Yue spoke at a closed-door seminar for young actors about recognizing warning signs of obsession. Dylan advocated for better training in personal safety for rising stars. Their advocacy added depth to their personas, moving them beyond heartthrob status into respected voices for change. Details from the police report painted an even more dramatic picture. The stalker had driven hours from another city that night, fueled by delusions sparked by misinterpreted interviews. He carried items intended as gifts, but twisted into symbols of control, including engraved jewelry with messages only he understood. When Dylan confronted him physically, it was not with reckless anger but calculated restraint learned from years of martial arts training for roles. That discipline prevented injury and ensured a swift resolution. Eyewitness accounts from restaurant staff described the scene vividly. One waiter recalled Dylan shielding Shen Yue with his body as the man approached, a gesture that spoke volumes. Another noted how Shen Yue's hand found Dylan's arm for support, a small but telling moment of reliance. These human touches elevated the story from tabloid fodder to something profoundly moving. Word count estimates place public interest at an all-time high for such incidents. Media outlets dissected every angle from the restaurant's security lapses to the psychological profile of the perpetrator. Experts weighed in on obsession disorders exacerbated by social media echo chambers. Through it all, Dylan and Shen Yue maintained grace, refusing to let the ordeal define them. Their next joint appearance at an awards ceremony drew massive crowds. Speculation ran wild as they posed together, smiles genuine and eyes reflecting shared history. Fans chanted their names, not just for past roles, but for the strength they displayed in crisis. This chapter closed with justice served and a friendship, or perhaps more, fortified against future storms. In the end, the private dinner that began so serenely became a testament to resilience. Dylan Wang's confrontation with Shen Yue's secret stalker was not merely an interruption but a turning point. It revealed the fragility of fame, the power of true connection, and the extraordinary courage that emerges when those we care about face danger. Their story continues to inspire, proving that even in the spotlight, real heroes walk among us.